Hello viewers of TK Solutions TV. My name is TK. I'm your host for Off the Pitch with TK. We continue to bring you former footballers so that they can share their football journey, they can advise the current players, and most importantly, educate us, the football fans, because if we lack information of what's happening in football, we tend to judge these players wrongly. And we are glad that since we started this show, the perception about South African footballers is slowly changing. We get to understand what they go through. But let me today welcome former Bushbucks midfielder, Mamelodi Sundowns. I've watched most of his football at Mamelodi Sundowns. He was an aggressive right winger. From Mamelodi Sundowns, he had a stint with Tanda Zulu Royal. Help me welcome Clement Mazibuko. Sbu.
Yeah, but
Kunjani mfethu?
alright, kunjani but
Grand.
alright man.
Yeah, I mean I remember you bebakubiza ukunta kinta.
Yeah.
I don't know that nickname came from. What is kunta kinta? Am I calling it right?
Kunta Kinte, yeah, I guess, yeah. Well, I guess it depends on the pronunciation, but yeah, I think Kunta Kinte.
Yeah.
How it came about, I think high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, high school, yeah. Firstly, I would say, well, being the problem ngalo.
Yeah.
Knowing the character behind it. If you know there's a character by the name of Kunta Kinte, I think it was a movie of slavery and all the stuff. So Kunta Kinte was a character there. And he was perceived as, I think, like you said earlier on, aggressive and all the stuff. But
Yeah.
I've learned to appreciate the name when I watched the whole movie. And I think he was a person who knew his rights, who fought for people and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
I learned to appreciate, after watching the movie, I've learned to appreciate the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's where it came about. Because like you said, my play was very aggressive and all stuff. So Eskolweni, I was this, this famous player in the team and all the stuff. Though I started very ukudlala Eskolweni at a very late stage. I think it was standard 10, which is
Matric.
great. Yeah, no,
Yeah. Grade 10.
grade 10.
Yeah, which was standard 8
It
back
was
then.
standard 8 back then.
Yeah.
So I started that late. But yeah, in that 2 years from standard 8 to matric, yeah, so I got popular Eskolweni, so everybody was calling me by that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But out here Davidson, right?
Yeah.
Most back then, Davidson players will go to Chiefs development and whatnot. How did you miss that train, when?
No, I was there as well.
You were there as well.
I was there as well.
Take me through it.
Yeah, I was there as well, because if you remember, I told you ukuthi ngiqale ukudlala isoccer esikoleni ka grade 10, which
yeah.
was standard 8.
Yeah.
And how it came about when I got to high school, because at that time I think I was short. So, and high school it was known to be the best school in terms of soccer and all stuff. So I was overlooked.
Yeah. Because of your height.
Yeah, because of my height. And then besengidlala kwi development Kaizer Chiefs. So they only find out masengu grade 10 that okay, the teacher who was our coach and all stuff, they told him, no man, you need to bring this boy. You should see what he does and all stuff. Of course, they knew like I was playing with Kaizer Chiefs then.
Yeah.
So that's how I played for high school, because of Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Kaizer Chiefs then, yeah, it was a couple of us who were playing ngaleso sikhathi leso, abo Jabupule, abo Nhlanhla Kubheka. Actually there was a lot who were coming from a Davidson Lezushil, yeah, like we were like very talented players. So up until I think it was just after matric, I think the following year, I got to be signed by Bushbucks. And I'm not sure if you you were aware there was this story about me leaving Chiefs. I went to pushbacks,
yes.
and there was a lot of commotion about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was I got promoted to first team.
Kaizer Chiefs.
With Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, then with Kaizer Chiefs, when I got promoted, the team was a very good team by that time, and there were a whole lot of good players, well-established players, national team players, especially with position that I was playing at that time. I was a striker. So I had to be realistic with myself and to say, you know what, chances of me playing here are work. Because even during a training, when we get to play my 11v11,
yeah,
wouldn't be considered. So but nobody paid attention to me, basically. Not in a bad way, but obviously Chiefs is a big team, and coaches want the results. Youngsters, it's not enough.
Yeah.
And I think by that time it was Paul Doleza.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, you know what? Thinking back again to check my background. I was coming from a disadvantaged background, so for me it was very important to go a progress in terms of providing.
Yeah.
So I left without telling them.
Yeah, you left it without telling them.
Yeah.
So by that time, while you sign the first team, are you staying at the apartment, or is Davidson Naturena?
Davidson Naturena. Yeah, Chiefs was issuing transport. So there was a guy who was a policeman. He was a very big Kaizer Chiefs supporter, and he was used to set up Lapago Chiefs. So they used him to transport us. Yeah. Yeah. So we used to go with him there. Yeah. Yeah.
So now, how do you get to Bushbucks? You decide, I'm leaving Lana, I'm not telling anybody that I'm leaving. But somebody must have told you, no, Sengaya go Bushbucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, there was a guy who was like a few years older than me. I wouldn't say he was a friend, but he was a coach. Because what was happening was, Master Daveton, Sonke Snabo Chabu, Nabon Tlantla and all the stuff. We had a team at Daveton, which was owned by Upolen.
Yeah,
at that time. Yeah. So Master Lukshin is so Upolen. So the guy, he was coaching a team Polen. So he went, he was a player at that time. So he went to go Bushbucks for trials. And he couldn't make it. So I think he made friends with a bus driver who Bushbucks.
Yeah.
And the bus driver was very close to the club boss. So he was, Ten Pasi. So he was trusted to be Bushbucks. So the guy Makabuya go Bushbucks. So can you imagine what he I think it's just a God's plan, thinking this person will lapayana and he never made it. Then uzo recommenda umuntu who will take you seriously, you know what? Yeah. So he spoke to the team driver and organized a trial for me. Imagine, even the coach and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So they agreed. So he told me, okay, go right. And all stuff. So that's how I left.
30 pass where?
It takes.
It
was a very funny journey, actually.
Yeah,
it was a very funny journey, and I had to go to a taxi. I went to Joburg. What's this? Taxi rank at Joburg is North.
Yeah.
I went to North. I was a youngster. I don't know where I'm going and all stuff. So, I went to North, Toli taxi and all the stuff. And as a youngster, like 4-4 and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm back seat with this big ladies and all
Yeah.
the stuff.
Yeah.
So I go. I don't know where I'm going. I just know what I'm Umtata. So taxi behambe ebusuku. So we got to Kokstad. There's a place Kokstad.
I know that place. You're foul already.
Yeah, and from Kokstad to Umtata, I think it's another 2 hours or so.
Yeah.
So imaliambe pelela Kokstad. I don't have anything else. Yeah, so ipelela Kokstad taxi, so and it was freezing. Like exane, I think it was around 5 in the morning. Taxi rank, like it's not like our north and north stuff. You know, lama taxi rank I think ama taxi aqala ukuba khona ngabo 10, 11.
Yeah.
So it was freezing. I had no place. I didn't have a jacket, and I'm sure you've heard Kokstad is one of the coldest places.
Yeah.
So it was cold. So I had to stay there up until masekufika ama-taxi and all that, and bekunama-taxi Umtata. So I had to speak to one of the taxi drivers lapha. I've got a situation here. I'm going to go pushbacks. But I didn't say good thing my trials. I was like, ngiyodlala ku pushbacks. So you know, Eastern Cape, Bafevi pushbacks.
That's the only team in
Yeah. So he was excited.
Yeah.
And the pushbacks on that day, it was playing. So he was excited, all right, sharp, what okay. Explain what I'm but bazokunikeza le phambili.
Yeah.
He was cool with that. So he took me, drove to obviously with the load. He went masifika vele laphana, fika vele sekugcwele Independence Stadium, if you know Independence. And spoke to my security to call the guy. Yeah. So what was nice about this thing, Gulo driver, was that he got an opportunity to get for free a stadium. He was very, very happy.
Excited.
Yeah.
Ngena free. Ngileti play.
Yeah. So the game, I can't remember bebadlala nani pushbacks on the day and all stuff. So after the game, the bus driver took me to a clubhouse. So I went to a clubhouse. I slept there. I think it was Saturday. It came by Saturday. And imagine, I don't have money. I'm telling this guy, you know, I didn't want to be... usafika. So it was Saturday, Sunday, the whole day I slept. Monday, beza bazongithatha kiwa ejimini. So la kule room ebengihleli kulo clubhouse, you know, ngale ngubo lezi ezicheap, you know, lezi ezifluffy and all that. So I overslept. I-taxi ifikile ikhumbi ye-team nani. So I just go like so I went taxini ekhumbini kunama senior players abo Tseponswane nani. Hey, mangena bayahleka lo mfana yini izikhiphani. Hey, mangithi ngicoli ingubo la enhloko lezi red. So it was funny. So it was a Monday. So I think I trained about Monday, Tuesday. On Tuesday after the training, pushbacks was like, no, they want me. So I trained about 2 days. Yeah. So benza ba speed up izinto to get signed and none. So but babuza ngendaba zama clearance nani. So bangitshela ukuthi ngilanda clearance back. So I went back. Now the trip is more comfortable, you know, with the bus, you know, nani. So I had to go ngiyofuna clearance. So we went to Chiefs. Okay, I was staying with this gentleman by the name of Mamelodi Sundowns. He was a policeman because like I told you, you know, my background was not okay. So we had no a home. So we ngihlala na this guy. So we decided ukuthi angikhaphe ku Kaizer Chiefs ngiyofuna clearance. Hey.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Malpika?
Last figure, hey, Uskrima was there.
Yeah.
Skrima shabalala. Hayi so kube vele hey ngomfana so khuluma manje hayi but fast forward they never took my story. So Skrima like hey boy ubani wena ufuna ukuyeka iKaizer Chiefs. Yeah, so like it was not a norm. Umfana I grew up supporting Chiefs.
Yeah.
So everyone, if you remember, then every boy was crazy, you know. Yeah, and favorite Chiefs, nana. So it was a dream for me. So, but again, as I said, you know, for me, I had to check in it. I needed to better my life.
But when you want clearance, bayakubuza ukuthi ufuna clearance uyaphi?
Yeah, ngathi bayabuza into enjalo. So. But yeah, I can't remember clearly, but bottom of the issue was they refused.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, you know what, ezinye izinto sometimes uNkulunkulu uzisebenza ngendlela. I didn't have the ID then, but bese ngi-applyele.
Yeah.
Fortunately, on that week, mangibuyile, la I used to stay. Bangifune, bangithole, bangitshela ukuthi ID yakho ifikile sebayideliverile. So that's a plus for me because angeke ngisayine without ID none. So we had to go to team ebengidlalela election before I went to go Chiefs.
Yeah.
So now the guy, I think the owner at that time, he saw the opportunity of making money.
Yeah.
Okay, uzokwenza clearance, but now I want to communicate with those people by myself. Basemthatha.
Yeah.
Fine, ngibafonele bamgibeze.
Lumjit.
Yeah. So back to C2. So I think by negotiate wherever afune imali. He was given imali, abanikeza clearance. On that weekend, Pushbacks idlala ne-Chiefs.
Ugu 18.
First 11.
Aye.
First 11.
Yeah. And uphume clearance at the previous team, aye Chiefs.
Aye Chiefs.
Ledlalela la Joes or Chiefs.
Independence.
Yeah. Chiefs is coming down there.
Yeah. So it came I'm on the first 11. It came first half. I was busy on that game.
Yeah.
Obviously, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
You know, a player.
A point to prove. Yeah. It's always the case.
Yeah. So after the Chiefs protested. Hey, player lethu lo muntu lo. So yeah, there was a commotion during halftime and whatnot. So they played under protest. So fast forward on that game, I got a man of the match. So I think I think we won the match, if I remember well. I think we won the match. So there was a case match after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Pushbacks won that case. Apparently, because I signed a contract while I was still on the reserve, and I was young. I was underage. So, and there was no guardian or whatever, none.
Yeah.
So, and I was not getting a salary, Lapana. I was still been given a step from reserve.
Development, yeah.
Yeah. So that's how they lost the case.
Then now you are clear to go Pushbacks.
I'm clear to go Pushbacks.
Yeah. Now, so you stay in that side, first game, man of the match. Your name is growing.
Yeah. I think it didn't take long. It didn't take long, and I would say, like I said, from the first game, you know, it was a good journey, and I got people who believed in me. I think by that time, Jani Simulambu, yeah, he coach.
He coach, yeah.
Yeah, and they were looking back, you're thinking, Guti, how did I make it? Like there was pushbacks then. It was a good team.
Yeah, no, it was a good team. Good players. And Amakrotman.
Amakrotman. Abo Thabo Mngomeni. Abo Tshepo Ntshwane.
Abo
Maduga. Abo William Mugei. Cyril Nzama. Mgwigwi. Mongezi Malashi. Like
Patrick Mayo.
Like it was big names.
Yeah.
It was a big names. Then Mina, I was a youngster then, and I think again, for me not to click, it was, as I said, you know, it was big names, but they welcomed me and they made me comfortable, and like I was comfortable, and I clicked Nami and all the stuff, so it was very good for me now, and I speed up in terms of Wakatlamatizer, and if I would say I made my name there very quickly. And Nabantu Umtata, you know, they were very supportive and bang appreciate and all the stuff. So, and as a youngster, Uklala Gute, we won, and it comes a lot with you have to be disciplined, you know. But yeah, luckily with Dan Pasia, he took me as his son, and with the Usturu as well.
Yeah.
So I was comfortable in that way.
But then where were you staying at Clubhouse?
Well, yeah, when I got there, I was staying at Clubhouse. I shared a Clubhouse with the late Vincent Skosana.
Yeah,
he was from Ngape East Randinai. He was from Efosloras. Then I stayed with him for a while. Then up until I think when they realized, you know, this is the gem of it's a jewel. We need to protect
and look after.
Yeah, they took me with. I went to stay with the bus driver.
Yeah,
who was, like I told you, he was very close to Itlapa. So, you know, because they obviously, you know, maybe they thought it okay. Now, because he's getting all famous, clubbing, Tanda Zulu, and so I stayed with him. For a while, up until I had to stay on my own, then go on a townhouse. Yeah.
But at that time, how difficult it is, I mean, Umtata is far from Ejozi. How often do you come home, the loneliness and all that? How it, and that time, I mean, games will come once a week. Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday. You are busy. You can't think of home because you are in the ground, in the pitch. But that time, you will wait for a weekend.
Yeah, it was, if so it wasn't easy. And at the same time, it was not a question of wanting to go back home, because I told you, Guti, I never had a home, you know. But again, it was a question of if Ubuela Emova, okay, I'm gonna go to Upra Mike, the guy Ben Shalanai and all the stuff, and and my friends and Umama was somewhere else, my sisters were somewhere else and all the stuff. So, but it had to push me, Uguti, you know, Maudlala, to make life better, you know, so that you can combine family back, so that, you know, Uguti, Maubuya, Ubuyele Kaya, you know, Ubuyela ezandleni ezi right. But it was a combination of ukuza ekhaya because of the friends and whatnot, and now everyone yakubona escreenini and all stuff, but ukude, no, you can't get people abazoku appreciate, no abantu okhule nabo, you know, people bakwazi la uhlala khona bakwazi nje uvele wazodlala i-football, abazi i-upbringing yakho ukuthi ukhule kanjani. So it was a matter of getting excited, Mabuya, you know what, people ebebangibona ngistruggle nani, you know, I think it would be a motivation nakubo as well, you know. And I remember first time when I came back, I went to a high school where I used to
Study, yeah.
where I used to study, sorry. Because there, high school had a big role in me in terms of, if I would say, my principal then, who played the role of being a father. I was not paying school fees then. He would allow me to study without paying school fees. And so, and because then at we high school, sasihlala kwizozo, ne? And izozo yasha nani, so that's why we end up not having ikaya. So the teachers at school, they sponsored ngempahla. So it was an environment where I felt loved, and I felt good. You know what I've done, it was me paying them back, and it was gonna be a motivation to a lot of kids because they knew about history sam. History sakhona saqala nje esikolweni, you know, but kuyo yonke lento le I still managed to be what I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And the first trip I came back, I went to Skolweni. And obviously to thank a principal, which I'm still this day, I'm still close with him, Mr. Mabuz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes we, as I said, as fans, they've got no idea the background the footballer ukuthi ubuya endaweni enjani. And it's the same thing with club bosses. Sometimes they can know your situation, take advantage of it, and exploit you. And it takes a character ukuthi you come from la ubongana stable home, your families all over the place. When uhlala there, umagriza nabo sister bada. Now you have to travel on this journey, a taxi, ebusuku kuyabanda, but you are holding on to this dream. Yeah, but so that's a very, very for me, it's great. It's big because somebody has to learn out of that. Don't give up. Background, it doesn't matter. If you are determined to say I'll make a difference, you will make a difference. Now you arrive to pushbacks. I want an agent. You are negotiating for yourself, or a bus driver say we agent there.
No, a bus driver, he was not my agent, and honestly, I didn't get to negotiate his salary. Yeah. Well, like you said, you know, as soon as they were interested in me, obviously, you know, Umtata was obese. The club boss, and try to get to know you, and they knew about my situation, and like I said, you know what, they brought me closer, and it was a question of, okay, sizokuniga malini. For me now, as little as it was, if you think back now, well, for me now, from getting nothing and to that, like, it was okay, wow. It was good. So it was not a question of negotiating. As you said, I didn't have an agent. Yeah.
And most players will say first contract sometimes it's not about the business side of it. The business side of it. You want to be a pro. You want to play.
You want to be a pro.
Yeah.
And remember very well, I think it was about 1,005. If my memory serves me well. And but I had to work my way up in terms of Epolweni. Then, you know, your performance will determine your salary.
Yeah. You know? I'm a player, but I'm a jukebox.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to work on that, but on that, the first one, that 1,005, the first thing, because I remember I had to bring back my family and try to get to rent. And I still remember very well the money that I would spend after getting a place. I think the rent there be about 1.3, and I'll be left with the 200 rent. So, thinking back, like, how I managed to survive in 200 every month.
Yeah.
I still can't believe. I still can't believe.
So Umtata 1.3 we Tumele Dladlins. Ngoba say now they've got a place
They've
by
got a place, yeah.
Now you know at least they are coming back together.
Yeah.
Then when I was selling a two clip.
How I spent it? Okay, I know Guti at some I think at Pushbacks we had a lunch. So after training in the morning you go past the
clubhouse,
lunch takeaway. Yeah, I remember very well. I think it was half a chicken and my chips.
Yeah.
So I think I would survive on that for the whole month. So and
then when you go to matches, you know, say hotel, say campus,
then udla proper.
You must just make sure you're in the 18.
Yeah. Well, then not to sound maybe I would say big-headed, but I would mostly make 11.
Yeah. You'll be on the team most of the time.
Yeah, I'll be in the team most of the time.
Yeah. Now, you're in this Bushbucks team. Udlala nama-Grootman, ama-character, Buthabo Mngomeni, you know. Before you came, they will talk to you, and what kind of advice they will talk to you and whatever?
Well, you know, as I said earlier, you know, lama-Grootman ebengidlala nawo. Yeah, no. I think they built a human being in me. And I remember very well, Cyril was there. He was one of the people who welcomed me, and he's the one again, because he was a senior Cyril there, and they respected him. He told them, you know what, sign on Lomfan, because he could see what I had then and all stuff. So everyone, like, they had their personalities and TV stuff. It was scary. I don't want to lie, big tusa. But you know what? As you said earlier, Uti, you know, if you know your situation and where you're coming from, you know, as into they are just there, you know, for you to use buildings, you know.
Yeah.
You don't care what was there because you know what you want to better your life. Yeah, you understand. But they played a big role. They've played a big role. They were very accommodative, and my advisors, they were there as well. Like I said to Cyril, will talk to me. You know what this is, and it's a different environment as Ushilonga. It's a very different environment if you're coming from a Joburg. There's not much to do, Lapa, and you can get easily bored.
Yeah.
But now then, luckily I was not one of those people who were in terms of umnandi. So for me, I'm an introvert. So I like ukhlala, so I think it worked for you. It worked for me. Yeah.
And also I think it helps to start your career in a small town with all players. I spoke to Patrick Twala. He said it helped him to start the career at Santos because he's young. In Cape Town, there's not much for him to do, and so they help you. Unlike if mhlambe uqala la eJozi, intanga zakho sila yonke into ila, it's easily to get distracted.
Yeah, true. And with the bus driver, he was known to be, you know, kunalo muntu bathi hey, hayi lo ungayenza izinto phambi kwakhe because izofika
kuma boss because u close ne boss.
So he knew everything. So there was no way if nami bakuthiwa mhlambe namfuna ukwenza because ngihlala naye, you know, ayikho into engayenza wathi uqala ukwenza so bazowazi. But I think now Leo it kept me grounded. Leo situation Leo.
Now he moved from Bushbucks to Sundowns ifika kanjani?
Leo nayo you know, I'm not sure Uguti, maybe it was destined to be like that because when I told you earlier on how I left the Chiefs. Okay, so what happened was before Sundowns, I went to Russia, with Robin Kazan. And I came back. Robin Kazani was going to sign me. And
you went to my trials?
Yeah. I went to my trials. So it was all good and they liked me and all stuff. So sharp came back, go pushbacks. So I was meant to go we end of the season. So then before end of the season, I think we played the national team. Then I got injured to the national team. So came back, or was on injury and all the stuff. So I think at the end of the season, I think we basically relegation zone with the pushbacks, and my contract was coming to an end. Remember, now I've got an agent.
So ngiyazi mase uyiRussia hayi agent ikhona. Because angithi ufike laphana uyintwana, you build your way up. Mase uya kuma townhouse uperform, angithi agent, they look uya perform bayachecka une representative. Who was representing you there?
Mike McCap. Yeah. Okay. Toka Mike McCap, I think I was one of the 10 players who started a pro sport. Yeah, there was only 10 of us then.
My God,
yeah. I think it was Abusiyabonga Nomvete, it was me, Suponzuzo, and a couple of, it was 10 of us. I still remember the number. Yeah. So, but when I went to Russia, it was not done by him. It was Victor Bondarenko.
Oh, Bondas.
Yeah, because obviously he was from that side. So
where was he coaching then? He was coaching Sundowns or Swallows?
Good pushbacks.
He
came good pushbacks. Yeah. He's the one who converted me from being a striker to
a winger.
Yeah. So, and then, if you remember very well, I think football mostly. Then I think it was. Football has evolved. And if you remember very well, then soccer, it was mostly wingers that were used. So, and Bondas used to love the 3-5-2 formation. So then that position, like, you have to work. You have to work defending and attacking. So he groomed me into that position, so I excelled into it. So I think he repaid me by organizing me.
Those trials.
With Ruben Kazan, and So fast forward, now I'm gonna go Ruben Kazan, and now I'm injured. My contract is coming to an end to go pushbacks. So okay, Loy had a problem. I went to Ruben Kazan without him, Mike McCap. But well, as a youngster, obviously, sometimes your mind is everywhere. You're gonna be excited, especially if it's got something to do
with Thanda.
So, but okay, fine. Like Mike McCap, I think he understands as well. He's a father, but okay, fine. It was like, okay, now your contract is coming to an end, blah blah, and. So now Sundowns came knocking, Chiefs came knocking, Pirates came knocking. So there was a couple of, I think it's a Super Sport as well. Super Sport as well. And he pushed back, it's on a relegation zone. So he said, no, let's play delaying tactic, because the pushbacks wanted me to renew a contract. Because they were aware, they're going to lose me for free, and they wanted to make money out of me.
Because when you renew, bazongithengisa.
So it was delaying tactics, until
season iphela.
So that's how I left this pushbacks. But it hurts. It hurts. I don't want to lie. It hurts. I don't want to lie. But at the same time, I had to look at my future as well, to secure a future I am, because I think it was I'm a benefit that were gonna be better if I leave as a free agent. For me. And if you remember, we spoke earlier about how football people they would use or how they appreciate you while you are still on
you're adding value or you're on the high.
On the high.
Yeah.
So once you go through that and you start deteriorating, everybody looks away.
Yeah.
So, and you get to learn to, in football, loyalty sometimes it's not ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No football loyalty is fine.
Yeah. So that's how I left. Yeah. It was a bitter pill to swallow, though, considering how they accepted me and they made me who I was. Yeah, it was a very.
They gave you a chance. They took chances.
They gave me a chance.
Yeah.
They gave.
But
me
now
a chance.
you repay them by performance.
Yeah.
But now, agent says we've got these 3 big guns and super sport. How do you decide now? Say a Tlorkopa, say a Mayfair, say a Nature. Is it a game of numbers?
Well, it was, but I think it was a game of numbers. But I think SuperSport came closer to what Sundowns was offering, because, well, in a sense that Pizzo had to, Pizzo.
Yeah.
At some stage, I think it was on that off season. I got a call from my mom to say kunomuntu omfunayo endlini. When I got home, Pizzo is there, Puziti.
Ufikile umdala.
Ufikile. So he has done all the maths, all the numbers already. You know what? To tell no mama, convince mama and all the stuff. And for some reason he knew how much I was getting. Go pushbacks. How I don't know.
Yeah.
So he stated whatever the tabazongnikeza yona ku SuperSport and all the stuff. So, and yeah. So I think it came close to what Sundowns was offering, and then I was tempted to go SuperSport. I was tempted to go SuperSport, and Chiefs, yes, but considering that I was there, like I said, I grew up following the Chiefs and all stuff. But now, as I don't know if I would say maturity or when you get used to a place. And Maseng Lapana was like, you know what's the fuss? Like, I'm here now, and why is it like ifasi Chiefs and all stuff? So I think it was a question. Okay, I've been there before, so I didn't want to go back. You understand? So for me, I think new challenges, being bigger and all stuff. So I decided to go with Sundowns. Yeah, because they came with a better offer, and I think, in terms of, I think they were a big team then. When Patrice took over, and they had so ambitions, and I thought, this is the team for me. Yeah.
Did Patrice was already there, or was still the Chiglas family, or they were still 50-50?
They were still 50-50, but Patrice I
think they were still they were still 50-50. They were still 50-50.
They were still 50-50. Yeah. But I know that Patrice, I was the first player that he bought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember after he got into partnership, you were the first player to get there. Yeah.
So.
But manje mosubona ne-agent besibona ukuthi lana kuzoba ne-cheese.
Yeah. Kuzodliwa, yeah.
And then you eventually tell umdala ukuthi, I'll see what I can do. Because I obviously is there to, and if a coach comes to your house, as a player, you already tell yourself, ngifuna a coach. I'm standing a good chance to play.
Yeah.
And obviously he'll try to advise you with maybe big team, too much pressure, come here, build yourself.
Yeah, it was, yeah, you know, I think, you know, Mabakshela, like Klambi, funny, Tombazana, you know, you do izinto to impress and. And in that case, before I came to off season, when I'm coming back home off season, I think last game we were playing against Sundowns. So the funny part is that I remember very well he came here corner because we were playing for survival. So I tackled Patrick Twala very hard.
Yeah.
I'm not a dirty player, but you know, I believed it was a fair tackle because it was wet. I went sliding and all stuff. And Mambush was so pissed off with me during the game. Like he came like, you know, furious and all the stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a bench long, it stood up, you know, like, you know, the momentum of the game, because they felt good, you know what, you
were hard on the ball.
Yeah. So, fine, fast forward, on that game, Pelawe game, Abenzo Hamp, coming back home. Funny enough, at the airport, I met Sundowns. So now, remember what happened at grounding. So like, and I'm gonna be on the same flight with them. Funny enough, they were all friendly with me, and I think Urocha was the interim coach then. Fumba, yeah. Then they called me Nomambushi, you know, hi, come sit, and so no, Peter.
Peter Ndlo.
Katrolis.
Oh, Peter Katrolis was a team manager. Yeah.
Man, we want you, man. Blah blah. Like, you know what? I thought maybe they are just bluffing, you know. Man, is it you know? Plus now you've been relegated. Blah blah blah. You know, I was like, yeah, it was tempting in a way. And Sundowns, like, I mean, Sundowns pushbacks, like for me now, wow. You know,
good jump.
Yeah, it's a good jump. You understand? So yeah. So I would give, you know, I can't remember what, you know, because we are surprised now, but yeah. And off season then, izinto zakhona started to be more serious, you know, Mike ngifune ofisini hlala sangitshela vele Sundowns 9. And on top of that, I think just before the end of the season, I had met Uchomo as well. Uchomo came disguised East London.
Was it East London?
Yeah.
Now ufuna ukuconvince ukuthi uze ku team yakhe.
Yeah. So like there was this car like just parked. Okay, I've known Colin Clem.
Yeah.
Colin is there. Colin now. Out of the blue, Colin East London. Young business zakala menendo. How is jabulelana abangingena emotweni la nguJomo.
So la mathi taba drive from la baza East London.
Yeah.
Bazokhuluma nawe.
Yeah. So so it was a couple of options.
Yeah.
So but Yagajomo, I think I didn't take it into consideration for a couple of reasons, of course.
And by then now you're going to go to a big player, you must go to a big team.
I have to go to.
Because also Bafana, when you get to Bafana, you find that you're the only one who's from a small team.
I was actually, it was a very humbling situation, coming from a small team and Bafana. That was then, if you remember very well, it was fashionable to have
a collab.
Collab from the big teams.
Yeah.
It was normally those players.
They will be from the big three or from overseas.
Exactly. So for me now, playing for pushbacks, wow, it was very, very humbling, good, you know, and at the same time it was scary. You know, Bafana from pushbacks. So it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. But yeah, I think in Lama collab, they helped me in terms of preparing myself for. I remember because when I got to Sundowns, I thought, okay, because like you said, national team are playing nabantu abadlala overseas who are bigger than what I'm facing now with Sundowns. You understand? So it wasn't a difficult thing to acclimatize with Sundowns. Yeah.
So now ungenile ku Sundowns, wagrilo signile. Uthola bobani there, and who was the coach when you get there?
When I get there, sorry, who was this coach now? Who was this coach?
Was it Westerhoff? But there was a white coach.
Yeah, it was a white coach.
Yeah, who took under after Ufumba was a caretaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was a white. I just forget his name also.
Nkhohli Kamalaki. Nkhohli Kamalaki, yeah, but he was there.
Yeah.
He was there because I remember when we got the first day, we were coming from Ibafana. We were staying so you know Andrea Renz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got there and he made us. We didn't train in the team. He made us go to see Skabelani Bolanje for the whole session. I think it was because of we were coming from national team and maybe we were tired and all stuff. So yeah, it keeps.
Was not Oscar Fallon or something?
I think it was Oscar Fallon. Yeah, I think it was Oscar Fallon.
Oscar Fallon. Yeah. But time look like peace.
Yeah, because I remember why I'm talking about that. He let us kick it Bolanje because I remember I'm a session work after that. My sessions work, it was just, the easy stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to point out the thing good for me. Like, wow, I'm in a Sundowns big team and here I am. Skabelani Bola Andrea Renz. And you expect there will be a lot of hard work and man. So, and during his time, my training sessions work, they were not
that intense?
No, they were not intense. They were not intense at all.
But now when you get to Sundowns, environment Debanjana, you're not being treated good here. It's from a small team. They'll want to backshake good Baba.
I think Bafana played a big role.
Yeah.
I think Benz Ababe aware he has what it takes.
Yeah.
And obviously he's a national team player, and there were a lot of players then with Sundowns who were not good national team. Yeah, there was only obviously a few, and I've already knew a few who I met who good national team, so they made me comfortable in all the stuff.
It was easy to adjust. But when it comes to how things were done, obviously it was way different to from where you come from.
Yeah, they were way different. I think it was a big institution. So where Clorcop, it's a club base.
Yeah, you start feeling the professional life.
That's when I started to feel a professional life. That's where
gym, swimming pool.
Young kid. So that's now you feel okay, and a pleasure of going to training, go back home. It was a good feeling because, like I said, I never had the chance of klala family. So now, family. I'm klala family. So it was very good.
Yeah, you were feeling more comfortable. You were close to home.
Yeah,
you spent time with your family. So at that time, on your return to Sundowns, you stayed at home.
I stayed at home.
Yeah,
I stayed at home because there was a lot of lost time. So we had to regroup and try to reform a family. So which I enjoyed, and obviously mostly with a cooked meal.
Yeah. Would really have chicken and cheese?
Yeah, no.
So and then now you were in that era of Sundowns when they were trying to find the team in terms of players. They will bring players. They will bring change coaches. How was it affecting you as players to know what 10 players might come next season.
Yeah.
The coach might not finish this season.
Yeah, no, like I said, you know, as you say, they would play. I remember, like, they would bring quality players after quality player, quality after quality. So yeah, that situation would keep you on your toes most of the time, and with top coaches as well. And yeah, so it kept you on your toes. And I'm thinking, what's happening now with Sundowns for me now? It's no surprise. I am surprised. You know, it's been a thing that ebeyiloku ikhona, and I think with work rate, player, and the quality and all stuff, they will keep you on your feet, and you have to perform game after game, game after game, game after game. And with the coaches that they brought, the like international coaches, and you think, oh, you know what, you know, obviously we are in Africa, and you know how we are perceived by some of the coaches when they come this side, and they'll bring their own
technical
South
teams,
Americans, players and all the stuff. And you know, you check the style, you're thinking, wow, and you check with the, hey, it's different, you know. And yeah, so those situations will keep you like on your toes all the time.
Yeah. But when it comes to players, quality coming in, but changing of coaches, because Lona figure with this philosophy, Malasati Joela, kufika udoleza, basi udoleza kufika sibanibani.
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, I think I was lucky after that when I think Fulon left. I think Udoleza came, and if you remember, Good Chiefs, Udoleza was
there when you left.
Yeah, and he's the one who fought them when I left. But again, I think and I'm not sure if it was a matter of repaying me or regretting. So, but he used me a lot. Like I was his key player, one of the key players when he was there and all the stuff. Then there was a time where I left. I went to a Greece. So okay, Toleza then was not there. So when I went to Greece, when I came back, I found was it Kappa?
Angel Kappa.
Angel Kappa.
Yeah.
So he was already there when I came back. So he was with those American players, South American players. Well,
George Acuna.
Not George Acuna, Torrealba, Principiano.
Yeah, Vincent.
And Acuna.
Yeah, Acuna was there.
Acuna's Principiano and Torrealba.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I think it was a week before Sundowns left for a Peace Cup in South Korea.
In South Korea.
Yeah. So I was not in his plans actually. So it was just, you know, I think he had Prince Piano who was playing on my position and all that stuff. So then, but we still went to go Peace Cup, and I was never used. I was not even 18 and all the stuff. So I was just a passenger, you know.
Yeah, I'm in a team.
I'm in a team, yeah. So I think when we came back after the Peace Cup, then it came a Charity Cup. Telkom. Yeah. So I think he had to use me there because obviously Charity Cup is 2 games, so it was only one of the teams. So I think on that day, that's when I made my mark. So after that, I was I won his heart. Yeah.
You realized that I need this guy.
Yeah. So maybe like regretted why I never used me go Peace Cup. Yeah.
And tell me, Chris, you went for trials or you played a season there?
No, I played. Yeah. Okay. It was a situation where I think I was left with my contract with the Sundowns besides Opela now. So when I went to Chris, the team was on relegation, the team as a Chris. So it was an agreement between the Sundowns and the team that if we survive the relegation, I come back to.
You stay in Chris.
If we survive relegation, yes, I stay in Chris.
Yeah.
If we get relegated,
you come back to Sundowns.
Yeah. So then we got relegated. I had to come back. Yeah.
So now you are back. Ukapa realized, no, I need this guy.
Yeah. Then it was really good, and like I said, knowing that gonna this player that he came with, so I had to.
You had to pull up your socks.
I had to pull up my socks.
Yeah, and because by then you established yourself for Sundowns, you were regular.
Yeah,
you'll hardly not make the 11. Yeah, you were forever. And Utoleza played that before that formation.
Yeah, he played.
You must go up and down.
I had to go up and down.
Yeah,
I had to go up and down. And Nakona again, like I said, there were a couple of good players, especially Abatlala my position, because I think you remember Josta came, Lucas Sibona came, and then I think there was a time where it was me and Siaka Tiene who were dominating
the flanks
that time.
Yeah.
So that's So like I said, I've counted those other players, and they're still Principiano. So can you imagine, Guti? How much pressure that you...
I know you played with quality, bro.
No, it was like I said, with the Sundowns, I think quality has always been
there. It's always been there.
And what we see today, I think it's just a continuation of what they've started then. So I'm not surprised with what is happening.
No, they've always signed quality. That team was powerful.
No, it was. It was powerful.
It was a powerful team.
It was powerful team, and you get as well. They brought Peter Ndlovu, Rafael Chuku came back, and Abonyandoro. It was a cream. Abo Shakes came. Brian. It was.
But now, eventually, with this team evolving, your time at Sundowns comes to an end.
Yeah, then came Gordon Igesant. Yeah. So I think Gordon maybe I don't know. I think I was not suiting his style, and because I remember very well, I think Minano Mangoba Ngwenya, we were the victims. Yeah. So he would. I think he had this mentality that we were playing for a crowd.
The crowd loved you.
The crowd loved us.
Yeah.
But he was against that. So he would make us train alone, just to kill the morale and all the stuff. So that's how I got to come out bit go first team and all stuff. Up until then, my contract ended. So I decided, I go.
Yeah. But if the coach doesn't want you, do they sit down with you? But I guess some they'll say you're not in my plans. Then I must look for a team. But some they just frustrate you and show by action which I don't want.
In his thing, I think it was a matter of frustrating. Yeah, he never came to say. You'll hear on corridors with you how he was talking about you, blah blah blah. Obviously, which were the negative things, but now things that were done during the training and all the stuff, where you're gonna be excluded from the rest of the group, and you train alone, doing the running the whole session. It was frustrating. It was frustrating, and knowing that and considering that you'd understand if maybe on a previous coach you didn't do well, but if you come and player so and so, they were part of the success, and you come with your own. Well, I think every coach's got
his players.
You understand? So But to my surprise, after that treatment and all the stuff, until I decided to leave when I went to Thanda, he came to Thanda. If you remember, after he was expelled from Sundowns, he came as an advisor Thanda, and he called me to sit with him, telling me that I'm gonna play a key role in his team. And so for me now, it came as like, wow, you know, it didn't make sense.
What changed?
Yeah, it didn't make sense for me now. So I'm not sure if it was a matter of it didn't have a choice, because obviously Thanda and Sundowns, the quality is different, you know. So knowing that maybe I'm carrying a lot of experience, you know, he will need me. I think when we spoke about earlier, in terms of they're gonna need you when they need you.
You know? When they need you, they'll make you feel important. When they're done with you, that's it. And Ugoden, when he came to Sundowns, he was replacing Toby and Kamondi when they were now struggling. After they won the league, the second season they struggled. Then he replaced them. And he won the league again.
He won the league again.
But the next season now he couldn't finish the following season. But now when he gets to Thanda, you left Sundowns because of him, and then eventually he follows you. But when he gets the relationship even better.
I guess, well, it was a bittersweet situation. But as a professional, you know, you had to deal what you're facing at that time. So, you know what, you just take everything behind you. And like I say, you're gonna have questions with like what happened all of a sudden, you know. So, but I had to deal with the situation and be what he wants me to be at that time.
But sometimes in your back of mind you'll say, I was at Sundowns playing, I love that team. I left because of you, but now you are here, now you tell me you need me.
And according to him, I was a crowd pleaser, and now you tend to think, is it not going to be the same here, like Thanda? Understand?
Because I'm still the same person.
I'm still the same person, and the player hasn't changed. I still play the way I used to. And I would say, I don't know if I say, fortunately, Thanda, I was given more of a bigger role in terms of I would play multiple positions with Thanda. I would play as a striker, I would play in the midfield, center mid, I would play wing. So,
But now, again, I hear Thanda, imali bebayara.
It was, well, you know what? It got me thinking again. And I would say I was fortunate that in terms of how teams are run in South Africa, especially with black-owned teams, I only played for Bushbucks in that as a small team. But I've seen how teams were run. E-team was run Go Chiefs. I've seen how E-team was run Go Bushbucks. I've seen how E-team was run Go Sundowns and Thanda. So I would say Bushbucks, as much as they didn't have a sponsor, but I can't complain. I was well looked after. But obviously with the facilities and all the stuff, they were nowhere near to these other teams. So comes to Thanda, it was a continuation of Sundowns in terms of professionalism. Well, as much as they didn't have their place, but money was good. It was a consortium from Sweden. Obviously, I think things were run differently. So you were not going to complain about getting paid late or whatever. But money was good, and my intentions were right. The intentions were good. So, yeah, and the apartments as well. It was top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they signed a lot of good experienced players that time.
They signed a lot of good experienced players.
Yeah.
A mixture of experienced players and a mixture of the players. Okay, what happened is when I went to Thanda, I joined Benoni Premier. It was a Benoni Premier.
Yeah.
And because, I felt, now that I've played my role and I was nearing towards the end of my career.
Yeah.
So Benoni Premier was a team from Davidson. That's where I grew up. So it would be lovely to play
To finish
a
career.
Kaizer,
Yeah.
playing a Snaba Stadium in front of people who knows go to Ukalegupi, know. That was a great feeling to think of it with, wow, it's gonna be wow, know. Then we started at this as this boy on a dusty street and now amateam amakhulu seweza azodlala la nawe ula, know. So that's how I decided to join the Premier. And besides Mr. Ndlovu, the owner then, he was like, Baba buye ekhaya,
Yeah. I'm convinced.
Yeah. So I was like,
and we support
support. So for me, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So while I'm with the Premier League, I think we was only there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
With the Benoni Premier. Yeah. And the next thing, we were called a meeting in Undlovu. Had his own way of doing his into, you know. And in that meeting, players were called one by one. Wena izangap, wena izangap, wena izangap. So the group, nina ne Durban, iti meeting siwe.
Yeah, lhamba na le team.
Nambi, yeah. I was the part ye team Durban. Like I'm thinking, this guy, he knows why I'm here. And Zofunu Glala Davidson. So, but yeah, I was so pissed off with him. And so now I've stayed along. It's kind of sitting away, Kai.
Yeah.
So now you're taking me back to
Durban, away from home again.
Away from home again. So that's how I ended up with Thanda. So the initial plan now joined Benoni Premier. It wasn't Thanda.
Yeah.
So he stayed with these players, which were very few players. I think it was Uchulai Mahlangu, Tsepo Masilela, Katle Kholoke. I can't remember.
Touch Umabaso, did he stay behind or he left? Or Rebecca Segwa Mazul?
I think I can't remember.
No, I can't remember to touch.
I can't remember.
Because Mlambi, they stayed or that time by Pirates born.
Yeah, I think. Because Manfiga Lapana, it was a pre-season training. It was Dance Malisel, whom I think he was fired just before he I don't know what was the reason, but yeah.
He's got the lack of being fired.
Yeah, and a very nice person, very nice person, and nice human being. And I feel as a coach as well, he's a very good coach. I think he can, if he can give him a chance.
With the proper team, can be in stability.
Yeah.
I think he lands into teams that they panic quicker.
Stability. But yeah, he's a very good coach.
You can see his identity in the team.
He's a very good coach. So yeah, that's how I ended up with Thanda. Yeah.
But now most players who went to Thanda through Benoni, they say their deal was not the same as these ones who came straight to Thanda as recruitment.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. But I know that I think their contracts were renegotiated.
Yeah. On arrival.
Yeah, because when we went there, we didn't have apartments, and also we stayed at the hotel where we would have meetings that would call one player by player, and stuff, to be introduced to the owners and all the stuff. But and at some point, as we had a meeting as a team, we were told of obviously with my contracts that they were going to be renegotiated. So, but yeah, from what I've heard. Or from what I've seen, I think they got better from what they used to get.
Yeah.
Yeah. because they were happy.
No, most players who played there, they will tell you, good lapana imali bekhona.
No, no, players will look
and those guys, they wanted to run that team like European.
Unfortunately, there were a lot of things, you know. I think if I would put it like this, I think it was more better from to the players who were being exposed to that level, if I make sense. From a player who come from a small team and the next thing you get everything. And mind you, you said Durban. Durban has got everything. Durban has got everything.
Now, all players back at Durban
has got everything. And unfortunately, I used to say, maybe it might sound bad. You know, I used to say that, you know what, it's going to take time for a team from Durban to win a league. Yes, maybe if they've got players Pelaba Kulele Durban, but you know, it's got a lot of players who are coming from outside. The entertainment there, it's a lot.
Every day.
It's every day. So players are getting distracted easily. So that's why I'm saying it's gonna take time for a team from Durban, I think, to win the league. Yeah.
Because Durban is just not good for footballers.
It's not good for
unless
footballers. Unless you are used to it. Environment.
But again, you might but you don't have the resources you have now as a footballer. Because remember, being a footballer brings a certain stature to you. You start getting attention also. But if you're an ordinary person, you're just ordinary person. But once you're a footballer, everybody wants to be next to you.
Definitely.
And things are happening.
Definitely. And you know, even I don't know, for some reason, you know, Ikebeng is Tanda soccer player. Ikebeng is Tanda soccer player. You know, when you're a soccer player, you're being loved. And Uzothandwa and I love, you know, Abasabo ayo onkumuntu. But they will bring you like those, and you'll feel secured now.
And protected.
And protected. You know, so, but again, what I'm saying is that unfortunately it takes that concentration away from what you're there for. So
Thanda, beside anything else, good setup, the money was there, but off the pitch,
I think off the pitch it played a big role. Like I said, you know what, sometimes a huge stage from being there to there, next thing you we won, you know, and you never had that chance. And like I said, for me, I've done that, go pushbacks, but it was a different environment. In Umtata, there was nothing to do. Umtata, and the people know each other. As soon as we are, when there's something, 3 minutes is enough. They'll know about it. Officing, you know. So Durban is huge. It's massive, and good townhouse, townhouse, you can do easy, you know. But obviously, at the end of the day, it's gonna show up. You know.
Eventually, those things they show on the pitch. The team lay off the pitch, there's a problem, and the team goes into relegation.
And I think the owners had difficulties of understanding the lifestyle. Because for one night, you know what, you could tell at some stage the frustration, you know, from them, you know, and to say, you know what, they are not used to this. You know, players here like because like I'm saying, the mindset is totally different. The mindset is totally different.
They realize when they're already inside, they don't want freedom.
You know, so I think, but my intentions were very good. My intentions were very good. And I always said, you know, I wish they came and maybe they chose a different location. You know? But even if Bebe makes I'm not undermining, if Bebe makes a vendor, I think it was going to do well. Because there's less things to do with vendor. And
there's less activity.
But in terms of being looked after, like players were very they were looked very well lapha. Yeah, very very well.
With the Bona, as players, you fail the team.
Yeah.
By entertaining external things than a grounding.
A grounding.
Then you stay there until the team goes into relegation.
Until it went to the relegation.
Yeah. Did you go with them down or Matibaba relegated?
I came back.
Yeah.
I came back. I came back. Then I think when I came back, that was it. I stayed. I think I told myself that I've retired up until maybe the following year. After a year, then Ibatao came. If you remember Ibatao from First Division.
Yes.
Yeah, they came knocking. They wanted help, and I was like, you know what? I've done it all. But funny enough, when people must as soccer players, stages the soccer players that went through, abanye bazokhuluma, I'm gonna talk about Easterns, associations and all that stuff. I never got to play kulama lower leagues. Never. So for me now, I think Ibata when it came was like, okay, First Division. Okay, let me try it. Let me see what Gwenzagalan, you know. And it's a total different world. It's a total different world. Yeah. But izinto zenzeka different lapha, so Primesh meal is gonna be streetwise too. So if you're gonna play away, epasi niba faga, the mattresses nizoyolala some house. So
lavange matras malvai.
Matras mawafaka lapha nepasini. So but okay, I think I went there with the name. So but not that I was enjoying what was happening go Manyama player, and I would also sit with the club boss in terms of mesh bonuses and all stuff, because obviously I came there as with Clement Mazibuko and profiling Kulu, and I was treated much better because I was staying as well. I was the only one who had an apartment. Bebahlala clubhouse bonke. Everyone was staying at the clubhouse, so I was staying in one of his houses, which is it's a plot, which was away from everything. It was somewhere Skangeni, so I like quiet places, which was good for me and all stuff. But in terms of match bonuses and all the stuff, and I had to Kulmeno club boss and all. So then came Zoran Papich. Zoran Papich.
Yes.
So it was just me and him who had profiles. So our treatment was maybe different to the other players. Well, I never got to sleep mattress and nani, but it was not a good thing. It was not a good thing. So I think Mina and I would share a room which has 2 beds, and the rest will sleep maybe on the mattresses, maybe wherever a sitting room and all stuff. And again going there, gonna eat streetwise too with whoever lania khona nebuy, and the number ngebhasi long hours, long hours, and even the diet, like I'm saying, good, what, it was an experience from experiencing izinto ezi right for a footballer. Then even nokudla bebakudla at clubhouse, like thinking, but now, okay, like I'm saying, I didn't want to be pulling away from them. I'll go ngidla khona na,
ubonisa ukuthi I'm part of the team.
I'm part of the team, and I was like I said, I had to negotiate food in
bonuses.
You get maybe 100 rand for game bonus. Like, what are you doing 100 rand? Get to negotiate 100 rand to take airtime then.
Really?
Yeah, then how you get motivated?
Yeah.
So like, there was a lot of things that needed to be changed, and if you remember, I spoke about situations on my team, and I got to say teams that are owned up by black bosses. I think there's still a lot that we need to do. And as I said, Guti, you know what, Sundowns, what's happening with Sundowns, it's not a miracle. You know, Sundowns, they pay people very well. And, you know, when you have a happy player, you get positive results. And those small things, they make a difference. And unfortunately, Tina, we black people, we suppress each other. You're not gonna expect me, I'm not gonna expect you to be productive if I'm patanga kahle.
Yeah.
And if mina ngazi inhlupheko yakho, you know, then I still oppress you more to that. I should be making you happy for me, not for just for when. It's gonna, if you happy, you're gonna be productive, and they could benefit me as a club boss. But unfortunately, I don't think some bayibona ngaleyo ndlela leyo. So yeah, I think it's still a lot. And that needs to be done when it comes to that.
So eventually, you see on this team, the life it's not worth it.
Well, I played up until they got relegated now. Yeah. I don't know about Pelele. Yeah, but after it was a very good experience in terms of ukudlala groundini, and yeah, the style is different. It's tough there.
Yeah,
it's tough to go
first
division. Yeah, but I coped. Somehow I coped. Yeah, somehow I did cope.
The fitness must be the highest level, and you've always been a fit player. I mean, even now you still look fit.
Thank you.
You can go and challenge.
Yeah, no. When it comes to training, training was different. The fitness footy with Uzoren, you know, is from Serbia. You know those countries.
Yes.
Yeah, like football. It's more of a physical part of side of it. So, yeah, I would cope. Yeah, but Lebafana Bebakala, yeah, no, he was Zoren, yeah, he would make them run.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that regard, I did cope. Yeah.
Now, in most of your games, you had a lot of good games, but there seems to be something each time you played against Chiefs, especially if I remember your games at Sundowns. You always give Chiefs a tough time. Was it still a personal thing, Uguti Azangbak Guy chance, or was a personal thing, the Sundowns and the Chiefs banayo? Because I believe this thing is personal between Sundowns and Chiefs.
Yeah, you know that. I think it's different things. Yeah, okay. I won't lie. As a young boy. When I started playing for Olivia Pushbacks, I think it was the matter of proving the point and trying to show them what they've missed, you know. But carrying on, it was no longer about that. And obviously, as you said, I think both teams, they've got a history.
Yeah.
And for some reason, yeah, I used to perform like the same way. I think with the Chiefs, you can't take that away from them. They are a big team.
Yeah,
it's
big
always
support.
It's big support. So now I think the attention.
Yeah.
You know, everyone will get to notice. Hey man, Nomtulo Magdalon and Sundowns, he overdoes it or whatever. The point can maybe, but now. If Sundowns is let's make an example.
Hellenic.
How many people watch that game? And I'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But now what I'm saying is that the attention is much less because we're not playing Chiefs. So everyone must learn the Chiefs. And, Maudlala, equality versus quality. I think that's when you enjoy Uglali Bola better, And I'm Kulmela Pesguento. When I played go First Division, it wasn't the same in terms of, I think, technically. First Division was more running and all the stuff, so people were not PSL. People are not just running, It's more tactical, so it's easy to express yourself. I think energy you use ngendlela right. Go First Division, yeah.
Mark
lapha.
My totally
mark lapha. So I think coming back to into Chiefs, I think it was more of attention and the magnitude of game on its own.
It's a show.
Everyone is hyped
up about that game.
Yeah. So I think that was prove a point. Yeah, I think maybe pushbacks. Yeah.
Now, eventually, Clement, when you leave football, is when now, as a former player, you start thinking, what am I doing? Or were you in a position where you were thinking of what I'm going to do the day I leave football? Or football had to end for you to say, okay, what am I doing now?
Yeah, when it comes to that, if I would say, living in football, I think it was a premature thing. It wasn't something that was planned, but obviously I think the situation in South Africa. Once you get that 3 on your mileage, people tend to look away. So I think it was a question of, okay, now. It was not something that was planned earlier, So now we think of, okay, what to do now? You understand? So you had to think on that time from there to the future, what you're gonna be doing and all the stuff. So I decided then. It was not something that I've decided early in the years. Yeah.
But how was the transition or the adjustment to say, now I no longer have active contract that is bringing me money regularly? What am I doing now? I need to leave. Life is, you're only just 30 something. That's when now real life starts.
You know what? I think when it comes to a transition, funny, I think I was talking about this last week, where I've seen a lot of guys are still struggling in terms of coming to terms with the current situation after football and all the stuff. I think for me now, I won't lie, it's not obviously going to be the same. You're not going to get the money that you used to get. So I think for me now, I think in life, personally, starting from as a young boy, my life was never easy. So for me, in terms of adjuster, it becomes easy. Yes, isn't as fun, but now it has never got to a situation good. You know what? Hey, now manje, sengat manje. Al-sabambi kahle. You understand? Yeah, but with people around me as well, and I think it was not that difficult, if I can put it like that. It was not that difficult. But like I'm saying, obviously, aksafani. So it's just a mental thing. You know what? Adjust. You've been Kuma situations are worse. You are still blessed. Having to have 1, 2, 3. You are still blessed. You've seen the worst. So now can you accept life as it is now and live by what you have now?
Yeah. No, I get it. And the other thing that I've realized, or I know a bit, is you lived a quiet life.
A very
You
quiet life.
you lived quiet. You know, sometimes footballers, you didn't play quiet, but you lived quiet. You know, some footballers, they'll say today play quiet, but when you are in the pitch, we'll know you're in the pitch. But off the pitch, you're quiet. And I made an example with the car that you are driving. I've known that car for some time, and I even asked you how many years now, and you said to me 22 years.
Yeah.
It's so unusual for footballers to keep one car, even if you buy others, but you'll get rid of the first one or whatever.
True.
What advice and what did you learn from retaining that car for so many years? And what other footballers can learn? For maybe you don't need to change cars every season with new signing on fee and whatnot.
You know, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't say maybe I was wise, but I was lucky to have someone who was advising me financially, and you know, we spoke about a lifestyle, yes, or and a lot is happening in Maudlal, you know, and you attract a lot of people, and we tend to, what's the word? We tend to please abantu. We have to live by what people are expecting, you know, because you are a footballer and all the stuff. So you're gonna be changing cars, like you said. You're gonna be. I've done it. I've done it, but well, there's this car that which we spoke about. That okay, I felt with okay, it's very close to me and all the stuff, and maybe there's a history behind that. But yeah, I think cars isn't also cleaner that you can think of. I remember when I went to go push backs, and it was 2 years after I was okay. I won't mention names. The players that I was playing with, especially that I played with from under 12, and we ended up with Chiefs reserve, and so I was promoted go first team. So when I went to Bushbucks, they were promoted 2 years later to first team, and I would come back from go Bushbucks and climbing my breaks and all the stuff, and they had cars already, and I was 2 years into professional. I didn't have a car then.
Sahleli 1.5.
Sahleli 1.5.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying that I had to do as the easy before the car. I understand.
Yeah.
So now when I'm looking back, I had this gentleman by the name of Atam Shongo, who was my financial advisor, who was more like a father game, and he would tell me, now sizoyenza so ngemali, wenza so ngemali, you know. And yes, as a youngster, I'll get disappointed, I'll get angry and whatnot. But looking back, like may his soul rest in peace, he passed on. And now looking back and thinking, like, he helped me so much. He helped me so much. Now I can still say, you know what, I can still look around and say, I've got this.
Yeah.
But now, imagine if I was this person with a fleshy life and all the stuff, and I've got nothing to show namhlanje. And some, there's nothing. There's nothing. But what I would say to my youngsters is that, you know, I think we spoke earlier on, good, you know, unfortunately there's this cycle soccer players, we're doing the very same thing. But now, if only we can learn to listen to people who went through leyo ndlela leyo. We're all professional players. Yes, maybe dala they bashola i-2 rand, manje bahola 20 rand. Yes, there's difference, but we're still exposed to
same things.
Same things. But unfortunately, zonke ziphela ngokufana. Zonke ziphela ngokufana. So if we can compromise leyo, because if football, I always say that you would be lucky if you udlala 5 years, over 5 years, because there's injuries, there's contractual issues, then there's a lifestyle. So once you manage to
avoid these
three, uNkulunkulu blessile. You are being blessed. And you play over 5 years, go professional football. Unkulunkulu blessed. You are being blessed. But now if you say the first year, and you don't know what's still coming the next 4 years, and you so jaheluwenza izinto nan. You got let's say maybe first year. Let's say for argument's sake, on the first year, you're gonna buy a house. A house is patala for 20 years.
Yeah.
Can you play 20 years in football?
No, very few players play.
Very few.
Yeah.
Very few. So Valamel.
Yeah.
You can pay that house in 5 years. That's if you are very determined.
Yeah.
You can double up or 3 times a month. Then, like we say, we don't know what's going to happen in 5 years' time. You understand?
Yeah.
But now, if you're going to be pushed by pressure, I want to say, you've been playing for so long, those are just material things. But if you buy sustainable things, or if you invest in sustainable things, you can live longer. You can live longer. So I think my youngsters, they need to learn when it comes to that. And they need to listen to people who went through
older
that.
ones who have played the game.
Yeah.
And they must think, Guti, I'm 26 now, but by 33 I might be unemployed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And tell me, let's get to this one. Yeah, the guy who said was more like financial advisor. Because I think I sat here with one player, Ngati, even if it's not the team's responsibility to advise you financially, they want you to play. If you are playing, you are performing, they are happy, they are paying you. We can't blame them. They gave you money, they didn't advise how to use it. But I was saying, bankers give you a call to say, we see you receive this amount of money in your account. Come, let's talk and advise you. But as footballers,
we don't have that.
We don't have time for that. But because a financial advisor can be anybody who has a good interest about you. Wena lo muntu okumthole kanjani i-relationship yenu iqale kuphi to a point where uba comfortable maka advisor ngenyuku enomlalela?
He's how do I put this? He was, labo, I would say Butoro Baba. Labo Baba Lava, he was nicely dressed, driver these beautiful cars and all the stuff, and he was outspoken. I'm sure if you use the location lingo, that's when there's a thin line between arrogance and ukom.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So it depends what when uzoyithatha kanjani.
Yeah.
So beka choma.
Yeah.
But beswasha kwikawashe one mina naye. And Umtata, everyone knows him, and ukutshela le moto ayidrivayo yena it costs so much, isuti yakhe wona wathenga overseas nani. And well, he sat me down. But he's lapha ofisini ngimi yabona nani. But you know what, let me listen to this man. For sure ngiye ofisini akubonisa nani into zakhe ama achievements nani. Actually uthi no zonke lezi zinto lezi. Okay, ngilesgela ngenza so. He was a broker.
Okay.
So, and unfortunately, when it comes to agents, maybe now, they won't tell you.
They won't have time for
No,
that.
they would. Tata 10% or whatever the percentage by Tata and none. But Guti Abe on your personal space. I mean, if we're gonna have an agent and you have 150 players,
where are you gonna get time to
you know,
advise and manage them?
you know. So yeah, for me now he was not in the football circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he got to know my mom, like know my family, nana. So he was more close.
Yeah.
So he would even go visit a kaya, So that person you tend to respect and you beg and into as achivile life in, and you say, you know what, okay, I think ngenze so.
Yeah.
And kuqala umtest uyenze, then it gets successful. So it started from lapho, then in future then bese kuve. And ngomusa kaNkulunkulu, I never even got to pay him a cent.
Yeah.
He was doing it out of love.
He was helping out of love,
For free.
Yeah.
Imagine he's owning a financial institution, but he was not even charging me not even a cent.
Yeah.
Not even a cent.
And now this how you met this guy gets to the conversation I had with Gerald Motabi said, akunamuntu nje ungathi when you meet a person because you're a footballer lehlangane eKhawashi, you look down at that person because you think how umuntu nje. The other player Usibu Mahlangu from Ikasilako wathi uDelek Thomas, he said to them, don't mix as soccer players all the time because you learn nothing from one another. You live the same, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Mix with people from other professions and hear what they can advise, and which is very key. And I wish current players they can learn try something different. Meet with different people. Don't only meet with those ones that say, "Oh, boy, FIFA break, let's go party."
Yeah.
No. You must say in a FIFA break, what did I do different from football? I've been occupied by football, but with FIFA break, what did I do to prepare myself after football? I think if they can pay attention to that, I'm glad these days is better. In the past, FIFA break, Monday, a player A accident, Ushonile. We used to have a lot of that in our FIFA break, but I think these days is much better. It's quite, we hope and believe players are using their free time efficiently.
Yeah, no, I think we will touch into that maybe now. Okay, I always want to make Sundowns as an example. Maybe now we'll let FIFA break, but Sundowns because I know what's happening in Lapana. They keep them busy still. This is not a break because I think that time they don't have enough time to be doing everything by Funa and not. They don't rest like, it's rest still because of Abadlali, it's FIFA break, but they still busy.
They still work.
They still work. So it keeps them away from all these things.
Yeah. And you've been in football, and by the look of things, do you think our football is improving? Will you encourage intwana yakho makathi time angifuna ukudlala ibhola la eSouth Africa? Would you say, boy, go for it, or you say intwana scale?
It's a tough one.
Yeah,
it's a tough one. I think yes and no. Yes, because of the things that I've mentioned earlier. Maybe, should I use Sundowns as an example again?
No.
If maybe Sundowns see Umtata, I would say yes, because I know Guti, he will be secured.
It's up to him.
It's up to him, yeah. But with what I've seen again, I think it will be just throwing my son good deep end. Yeah, I think if I can do an analogy with logish, and I would ask you, out of 10, how many boys out of 10 would have a backbone and grow up as umuntu or right young astray. So same applies to football. How many players will succumb to a pressure of what we spoke about in terms of treatment and all the stuff? I understand what you know what I'm not gonna mention like Makama. I understand what there is a chairman somehow where if players would not get paid and all the stuff, and the clubhouse and they stayed how many days without eating and all stuff, he will come with amaloaves, pale, and uzawubeka laphayana ba complain ukuthi manje so wadlangani, then he would look up bahleli phansi kwesihlahla sama avocado, meaning
avocado
like you understand. So if my son will be exposed into such, how many players abazoba discouraged kule situation? How many players that will take that as something that's gonna build them to push them to work hard in terms of in terms of avoiding that situation?
Yeah,
maybe 1 out of 10. Well, but 9 young could be discouraged to say, you know what, into football ayikho.
Yeah.
And earlier on we were beskhuluma no Katlego ukuthi, you know what, unfortunately some club bosses, they don't understand how much damage they do to players, and that damage, it goes like for a very long time. We spoke about the players who ubabona namhlanje straight and think, you know what, you feel sorry. Abazenzi, they've been damaged. They've been told that they were useless. They've been told that they were doing them a favor by allowing them to play Matlapin Wab. And it causes so much damage that it's not, imagine after that damage, then you get to what we spoke about, you're gonna being exposed to go the real world. Then our society comes back, how are you gonna stand up? You're not gonna, because if you're gonna, like, everyone is just against you, so you're gonna see yourself as this useless person.
Yeah, failile. Yeah, and some they even talk about things they don't affect about.
Exactly, and like, you know how society is. People will use that chance to come back to you. You used to do this. Look at you now. Then you're not gonna come out of that situation.
Yeah.
And because of the club bosses, they've damaged you since from then.
Yeah. They never protected or thought it's a human being.
It's a human
Besides
being.
him being a footballer, it's a human being.
And what I said earlier, you know what? Black on black, you should understand my struggle. I expect you to understand my struggles. You should be making my life better because I serve you. I'm bringing something in your team. Repay me, same. And you know what? As a struggles, good. You know what? As black people, you know, there's a black tax and also how many people depend on him.
Yeah.
You're not only killing me. You're killing abantu
that I'm fitting and I'm their support.
And mina as a breadwinner, if you khuleka mina, seeing abantu bakrasheka ngendaba yami, izongkrasha more. Izongkrasha more.
Yeah. No,
so they're not aware with the damage by inside.
No, that's true, Melt. And we hope, and you know, through this program, Clement, we hope to get the message out there. We talk of the pitch thing that footballers goes through. It's not nice to abantu share funny pictures of former heroes, former players, people who made them happy at one point by stadium. But today, because that person is going through hardship, it's fun.
It's fun.
That's what we don't want. We hope by talking about these issues, putting them on the table, maybe club bosses, they are not aware that they are damaging players. But when they sit and listen, hey, let's change. Let's make a difference. Let every player who played for my team be proud of the institution I'm running. So that it's easy tomorrow, Umtata, no, my boy can go there. You know, I mean, if I ask you, would you encourage Ntwana kuyodlala uthi kuzodependa. It's not an outright thing. Good things. Mfana ipola la South Africa lizokunakekela. Yeah. No. I get you. There's load shedding as usual, interfering with our program.
Yeah, no.
But the other thing in closing that I just want to know: are you involved in football now? What are you doing, or you looking at other things besides football?
I am involved with still with the football. Yeah, I'm with the organization of it's called Global Soccer School International. Yeah, we're building players there.
Okay.
So yeah.
Where is it based, and what are you doing?
Okay, Global Soccer School. It's international. It's under a super sport. Yeah, so it's a soccer school. It's got a lot of branches around Gauteng and around South Africa. So yeah, it's got Mina. I'm based with branch SA Benoni. We've got the branch at Benoni, Kempton Park, Edenvale.
Okay.
Now we just opened the Meyersdale.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's more like an academy.
It's academy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Labafana, they study there. Is it only boys or?
Well, not. It's more like they don't study there. But what we do is that we don't recruit. You can bring them as raw as they are.
Okay.
We cook them ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have builders, and yeah.
So a parent can just bring Umtata.
Yeah, but obviously
there must be applications and processes.
No, you pay monthly.
Okay, you pay monthly.
Yeah, you pay monthly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're doing very well, and as we speak now, we have a boy who just left, an 11-year-old boy. He came to us. I think we started them from the age of 4. He's 11 now. He just left I think it was February. He signed with Manchester United. Yeah, he's 11-year-old. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of them actually. They're very good. Like, I think in the next, give me maybe from 5 to 8 years. Maybe I'll come back to one of the players. So like they're very good players. Yeah. Now we're doing very well, I think, in terms of developing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good initiative, and it's another way of giving back to football. And I always say with footballers, you can't take them away from football. It's what they know, and they'll always find a way to get back and give back.
Yeah, true. Yeah. True.
But are you on social media? If you want to follow, how are you doing program for parents who say we wanna see if we can bring our kids?
I'm not into social media. Like, okay, we spoke about
quiet.
Yeah. I like my life. I'm very quiet, but yeah. I think I'm on only go Facebook as Clement Mazibuko, but that's my personal.
Yeah.
I think go Twitter as well, but yeah, I've been on Twitter, but I've never been like. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, I think they can just go with Global Soccer School International with Facebook.
Yeah, Global Soccer School International. Yeah. No, I'll also have a look at it. It sounds very interesting. Yeah.
Okay. It's we linked with the Super Sport.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, that's
so if you check the Super Sport, the players that have been coming, they're coming from us. Yeah, the development side of it.
Okay. No, that's great. Yeah. I know football. We can talk. I
know
the whole day and night.
Yeah.
And I know you've got some places to go, and I really appreciate. Is there anything you want to say before I wrap this conversation?
I'll say on your side, I think this has been a very much fruitful interview. I think it's very, what you are doing is very good, and yeah, it's very informative. I think people will get to know the other side of ours, and yeah, we're talking as earlier on the Katlego, you know what, I think is as the same as him. We're not into, I don't like doing interviews. No, I don't. But this one I found it like very informative, and it's very good for everyone. I think you're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
Please keep it up, please. Thank you.
No, thanks.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks, Clement. And I'm also humbled by your visit. When we asked you to come through, really you just find a good time in your schedule and you say, "Gents, I'll come." And I really appreciate for every player that comes here. I appreciate because this show is not about me. It's about trying to make a difference. And I need you guys to assist us to make a difference. I can't come here and talk to myself. I need you guys to share your story, share your experience, share your advice. And these current players, it's up to them. They must never say, we've never had what is it like in football. They've got you guys to share your stories, and it's up to them. But the good thing is we know they're watching the program. The footballers, they've got time. In the bus to camp, in the plane, at the airport, the Wi-Fi, they connect and they listen. And there are those that speak to us to say, hey, I was listening to Grootman's Banbani. I really learned a lot, TK, you know? And that's all what we want. Let's try to help. If we help one player out of 100, through conversation, I've changed and I've learned. I'm okay.
No, thanks, boss. And lastly, I think I should say we kubantwana laba bakhulele elokishini, especially the ones who are coming from disadvantaged families, they shouldn't let their situation dictate them. You know, doesn't matter where you're coming from or you don't. If you have a dream, you just need to go for that dream. You know, your situation mustn't pull you back. Just follow your dream and you're gonna be what you want to be in life. No, thank you.
No, thanks a lot.
All right.
And that was me with Clement Mazibuko. From me, TK, it's a wrap. Let's meet on the next episode. Thank you very much.